Instead you can bury the workman, but the work will go on. You can silence the voices, but you can't stop the song.
Welcome to Wheeling the Pathways of Life Unplugged with your host, Brain Fitzpatrick. Wheeling the Pathways of Life Unplugged is a snapshot of the day-to-day experiences of disabled individuals as they navigate the world around us. We wish to shed light and open your eyes on a new perspective of people with disabilities. And by going unplugged, we can discuss viewpoints we hope will challenge our viewers' points of view. Most of us have disabilities we must live with, but what defines us is the way we deal with them. And now, here's your host, Brain Fitzpatrick.
Good afternoon, folks. This is Brain Fitzpatrick coming to you live from the facilities of Pittsburgh Community Television. Today, I've got a very interesting show and a little bit of show and tell today. As some of you may notice I've got a few new things on my chair. As a matter of fact, it's a new chair. It's got some new features. It can go, it can recline, it can go up 5 feet in the air, and yes, it's even got headlights on it, so I can drive in the dark. But today I was going to talk to you about how much equipment like this not only is, but how ridiculously difficult it is to get. I got lucky and it only took me 2 months. But chairs like this, Kelsey, if you can pull out a little bit so they can see. Chairs like this can take up to 6 months to a year to get, depending on the insurances. And yes, it's even got a backup alarm on it. The other thing it can, alright, Kelsey, you can go back in now. And it's even got controls in the back, so everything I can do up front with the main controls can also be done in the back with the attendant controls. And it's got multiple speeds, indoor, outdoor, all kinds of stuff. And I joke around that I don't need any scaffolding anymore because nobody needs to anybody needs anything up on the ceiling, I can do it. depending on how high the ceiling is, I can get up there. Not that I can do much when I get up there, but getting up there is part of the, getting up there is part of the fun. So what I wanted to do today is just kind of discuss the chair a little bit, and then get into some other things. But the other things I want to get into is when you are dealing with companies like this, you gotta wheelchair companies. You gotta expect different things happen when they put them together. Like they forgot a piece of my seat, so I had to go back and be remade again, and it's a lot of work and a lot of patience for me. And it's frustrating, again, trying to justify everything that needs to be justified to get a chair like this. As many of you have heard me say in the past, justification shouldn't be as hard as it is. Need for justification shouldn't be as bad as it is. We should spend more time working on healthcare, reform than we do, because in actuality, if we don't have healthcare, we don't have nothing, right? Because on this earth, if we're not healthy and living, we don't have anything. So, more money should be spent on healthcare, less on, this is only my opinion, and this is not the opinion of Pittsburgh Community Television or WTBR or any affiliates or any people that are close to WTBR and Pittsburgh Community Television, but we should not be spending as much on a war. We should be spending much on a war that we shouldn't be involved in anyway, as far as I'm concerned. We should be spending more on healthcare and getting people the services they need and continue to provide and be a part of the solution, not part of the problem. And I think that one of the problems with society today and definitely in the past, is disabled people and more of a, it was more of a problem in the past, but it's still a problem today, is what can he or she do? I mean, what can we do as a disabled community that you can't get from a normal person, quote unquote normal person? And I would say, who are you to say who's normal and who's not? Because normal for me may not be normal for you. And I will say this, people do care about other people, but today, by today's standards and by even 10 or 15 years ago and more, it's gotten more prevalent in today's standards than it has anywhere else, is most of society, I say most of society is saying, what's in it for me? What do I get out of it? Taking care of somebody in a wheelchair or putting together wheelchairs. How much money can we get out of it, as opposed to making somebody's life easier? I think that it's clearly not something that people think about all the time. I think that people need to think more at greater length and have more deeper thoughts about this stuff. It's like, would you want to be sitting in a room somewhere with not being able to move, or, stay in bed because you don't have a way to move around and stuff? I say no. I say no, you wouldn't, because I don't often say this. Until you've been in the situation, you don't know what it's like. I tried to give it to you as straight as I can, as often as I can, but there's no way you can tell what my life was like. I can give you a glimpse, but you don't know what my life is like. Getting up every day and dealing with some of the same issues I deal with every day and stuff like that. It's not as glamorous and not as pleasant as some people try to make it out to be. There are fun parts and I don't have to do as much work as everybody else, so in a way, I'm saving my body so maybe I'll live longer, but in other cases, it's just a bad situation all the way around. But I try to make it as productive and as meaningful as I can. And in doing so, as part of that, I have committed to another year on Pittsfield Community Television, doing a show like this, and I won't plan on bringing you more informative shows like this and more guests to actually try to make a difference in people's lives. Because I hear this all the time, folks. He's in a chair. What can he do? Or what can she do? Until you talk to the person in the chair, you don't know who they really are. The chair is around me, and I'm in the chair, or on the chair, as the case may be, but the chair does not define who I am. The fact that I'm in a chair is just a physical challenge. It does not mean that I don't have emotions or I don't have things that I dislike and stuff like that. And believe me, I can express it. But there are so many people who have so much difficulty expressing themselves and the way they feel about it. The way they feel about it, yeah, and the way they feel about it, is usually, the way they feel about it is not the way the bad people perceive it. They perceive it as, oh, I feel bad for this. Why? It's part of life. And this is the way God has made me. And I'm doing what I should be doing for society as far as getting information out there. And so be it. People need to realize too, because I've seen this because of COVID and stuff like that, and I've said this several times before too, is don't be afraid to stop and see me in the store, or if you see me going down the aisle in the store, don't feel bad about stopping me to ask me a question, or no question that you may have is a difficult question to answer. Okay. Best way for me to explain what CP is for those people that haven't watched my show in a while, or somebody new coming on Facebook or YouTube. Imagine the brain as a telephone company with what? I mean, that's where the wires start. Well, the communication between the wires in the brain, the communication in the hub, in the communication area for the phone company, don't get down to where they need to be, is what it is. The physical body and the movement of the body, the information gets to the brain, but it doesn't necessarily get to the rest of the body. And if it does, it doesn't get there fully. The information gets all jumbled up and the wires are twisted and stuff like that. So that's the best way I can explain that. And the more people who understand and the more people that feel free, the more people that feel free enough to come up to me, and people like me, the more things we can do as a community, because more people understand what disabilities are. And I often talk about what you would consider a person that can't do anything. Imagine if that was you saying to somebody saying that to you. Being told that you can't do something because you have a challenge and you have a situation where you can't function in a way that you want to or that you need to. You wouldn't like it if somebody made fun of you and made you feel bad. In a situation where, there's more to that situation. There's more to that in the process of being able to communicate and the process of being able to get your needs met if you can't communicate, or if you communicate in a different way. Now, we all think communication is voice, but we forget all the time that communication can be smiling, communication can be making noise, or, grabbing somebody by a pant leg or something and getting their attention. some people have to do things like that to communicate. So there is always a way for communication. You just gotta be tuned in to what kind of communication an individual uses and attuned to their communication skills. And, you know, once you can break through that communication barrier, depending on what it is, then you'll find, hey, this person knows what they're doing, or this person can express themselves in a way that everybody else didn't take the time to discuss. And everybody else doesn't take the time to consider what a person in a wheelchair does, or what a person with a disability has to say, because one of the aspects of it that I want people to really take away from today is when you're communicating with somebody, okay, and you've got issues understanding them, or they're talking too fast, ask them to slow down. Really take the time and understand what they're saying, because that's the biggest thing that I see all the time. People in such a hurry to, oh, I gotta go by, oh, I gotta get back to work or something like that. I gotta do something else. Well, I understand that to a point, but if you really value other people, and I have to do this too, keep in mind that people have lives too, and they have other things to do, but especially when you're in this field, you kind of have to take it's a special calling to be willing and able to commit to listening and understanding what an individual needs and what it's very easy to dismiss somebody because if you look at me, can you pull out one more time, Kelsey? If you look at me, some of you may say, and this is more way back when than it is today, is he's in a chair, he has a hard time communicating at times. What can he do to make this a better place, or make this a what kind of value does he have? Okay, Kelsey. And that, I would argue, the value is in discussing and sitting down and talking to me and breaking through the stereotypes that not only people that don't know the field or don't know how to communicate with people. It's how to deal with a multitude of people. It's how to deal with different emotional backgrounds, dealing with emotional people that are upset because they're in situations they're in. Understanding, of course, if something minor bothers me, like putting something where something should be, you gotta understand that I can't get up out of this chair to get it like everybody else. You know, I've got to rely on other people doing it for me. But with chairs like this, and able to do some of the features that I can do with this one, make it easier for me to do. And several people, including the agency that I got a chair from, and in the meeting yesterday with UCP, they said to me, "Why did you get the elevator?" It's because I can communicate with people at their level. I can stay low when I'm talking to little kids, or I can raise myself up to a higher level so I can see people eye to eye. If you can look people in the eye and really understand who they are, the communication can get through a lot better. And back to a military type thing that my father always told me. Depending on where a commander is in the height, in the location of where a commander is, people listen more to people because of the position they hold. And sometimes that could mean a physical position as well. I don't agree with that statement, but it's true. If a commander's not sitting at the head of the table or commanding space or making his voice loud enough or making himself understood, people aren't going to listen to him as much as they would people that can do that. My point is on that situation is it doesn't matter how people talk, it doesn't matter how people are, whether they got a disability or not. Respect them and take the time and understand what they're going through. When we come back, I will continue the conversation and possibly show you some other neat features with the chair. We'll be right back, folks.
You were the Word at the beginning, one with God the Lord Most High. Your hidden glory in creation, now revealed in you are Christ. What a beautiful name it is. What a beautiful name it is. The name of Jesus Christ, my King. What a beautiful name it is. Nothing compares to this. What a beautiful name it is. The name of Jesus. You didn't want heaven without us. Jesus, you brought heaven down. Oh Lord, my sin was great, your love was greater, Lord. What could separate us now? What a wonderful name it is. What a wonderful name it is. The name of Jesus Christ, my King. What a wonderful name it is. Nothing compares to this. What a wonderful name it is. The name of Jesus. What a wonderful name it is. The name of Jesus. Death could not hold you. The veil torn before you. You silenced the boast of sin and grace. The heavens are roaring the praise of your glory. For you are raised to life again. You have no rival. You have no equal. Forever, God, you reign. Yours is the kingdom. Yours is the glory. Yours is the name above all names. What a powerful name it is. What a powerful name it is. The name of Jesus Christ, my King. What a powerful name it is. Nothing can stand against. What a powerful name it is. The name of Jesus. What a powerful name it is. The name of Jesus. What a powerful name it is, the name of Jesus.
Good afternoon, folks. This is Brain Fitzpatrick coming to you live from the facilities of Pittsfield Community Television and WTPR 89.7 on your FM dial. Today I'm just talking to you about the how hard it is to be a person with a disability and communication surrounding that, and showing you different features on my new chair that I got to make life easier for me. And as some of you may know, as some of you may have seen just a little while ago, I'm a little bit higher than I was before, because I just elevated myself, and I just elevated myself a little more. So, see, this is what I'm saying about being able to look people in the eye and talk to them, and kind of be more included in other people's conversations, and make it easier for people to do things. And frankly, it's makes it easier for a lot of things, and I don't have to worry about being in a barber chair anymore. I can just raise and lower the chair as I need to. And a lot of people think, why does he need that? Like I said, it's just another step in being independent and being able to control your environment. And one other feature that I can't show you in the configuration I'm in right now, but I will on a recording one day, but I can even run a computer through the joystick on the chair with Bluetooth capability. I can run the mouse by positioning the joystick as to where I need the joystick to be. Where I need the mouse to be, I can run I can run it through the joystick on the chair. So what I can also do with this one, can't do in the other position. Whoops. I'm still learning, folks, on how to operate the chair, but I'll get there. Whoops, wrong way. You can also recline 50 degrees. You I have to go out for this one, girls. All right. Good job. I don't think I'm all the way down, but typically it can go 50 degrees all the way back. But if I'm raised up a little bit, it doesn't go all the way back. That's a safety feature. And either, whoops, I was in the wrong gear. Anyway, either, and the chair will not go up the hill. If it's tilted back so far or raised up as high as it was before, because the center of gravity is different than it is if you're all the way down. Oops. I'll give this a second. It's being a little I've just had this thing about a week and a half, so it's gonna take me a little bit to get used to it. This is technology that I've seen, I just haven't dealt with in before in my chairs. So, but anyway, folks, this is Kelsey, if you can take that shot again. Side shot. This is the type of thing where the money that you give for insurances, give the Medicaid, give to the insurances, pay for these type of chairs, and they make it so that people like me can fully function as much as I can out in the community and be a better functioning member of society. And a lot of times, what people don't realize is they say, oh, I gotta pay money to the state, my taxes and stuff. This is what the money goes for in your taxes and stuff, so. Oops. But anyway, folks, thanks, Kelsey. You can go back to the front shot. What I'm trying to say is the intentions are great from people some intentions are great from people that don't understand situations, but it's how they express the fact that they don't understand is the problem. And one thing that I would say to you guys right now is try not to insult somebody's intelligence just because you have a certain thought into your head how people should handle things. Because everybody handles things differently. And like I said to you several times, I would not change a thing if I could. Because it would be too much of a factor of unknown situations, you know? I have too many unknown situations to deal with. It would be too many unknowns, even if there was a way to get me out of the chair. But even though I'm in a chair, my life is fulfilling. I'm fulfilling a purpose, and my life is immensely fulfilling, knowing that I'm making a difference in doing what I'm doing right now. By doing this show, by putting it together, by talking to people like Trisha Pelly Movie, and talking to people like Congressman Neal and the city directors and mayors and all those. I feel like I'm making a difference. And with your help and with this tool of putting together this show, it's getting my story out, and hopefully other people's stories out too. And with that, folks, I'd like to give you an opportunity to ask me a question or give me a comment on what I'm talking about. What do you feel like I should be talking about, and what your situations are? And you can get a hold of me at Wheeling the Pathways of Life at gmail.com. That's Wheeling the Pathways of Life at gmail.com. Or you can look me up on Facebook at Brain Fitzpatrick. That's another way you can get a hold of me. And if you send me a friend request, that's my personal email, personal Facebook. So I will get it, and I will be able to have a more direct, personal, in the chat conversation with you, either by typing or by video. But it's probably best if you send me an email first to that email address. Again, it's wheelingthepathwaytolife@gmail.com, and then we'll go from there. And maybe your story would be you want me to express your story on the show, or you want me to you want to come on the show yourself and express your story to the people. Because remember, this may be a little studio in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, but due to technology, this goes anywhere in the country, thanks to YouTube, or thanks to YouTube and Facebook. And folks, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to do this show for as many years as I have, and this next year will be even better than the year before. And I think that with your help, I think we'll get a lot of information out there. And there's probably situations that I haven't even thought of that need to get out there, and different stories and different places that I can go and do a show and understand that, understand and help people realize their dreams with even getting into buildings they can't get into, or widening doorways that people can't figure out how to do. I can possibly give them some ideas on how to do it. All from experience of situations, being in a situation, because sometimes it takes people who've experienced the same thing or things similar than you, experiencing similar with you, to get people to understand, yeah, he or she is right. I go through some of the same things, and explain ways around situations that I go through. And you can talk to somebody until they're blue in the face, but until you talk to somebody else that has a situation, they don't understand. So, with that, folks, I will see you all next week. Thank you very much, and I'm very happy to be back for another year. Thank you.
Can bury the workman, but the work will go on. You can silence the voices, but you can't stop the song. 'Cause when the spirits move, and His will be done. You can bury the workman, but the work will go